Hi, and welcome to another episode of the Veterans Corner. My name is Chuck Woodin, and I'll be your host. We have a special group of guys here today from the SGU National Memorial. And actually, I'll start from my left. We have Bob Butler. Bob is the commander of the American Legion post in Rocky Hill. Actually, that's where you meet, but it's actually the governor's foot guard. It's post 1771. Welcome to the show, Bob.
Thank you, Chuck.
To my right, we have General Sar Potisak. General Sar is the SGU president for headquarters, Connecticut. Welcome to the show, General.
Thank you, Mr. Chuck.
And we have Dan, and last but not least, Dan has been on the show before. Dan Thurston. Dan is one of the past department commanders for the American Legion.
Correct.
What was it, about 4 or 5 years ago?
2011.
Yeah.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah. Well, welcome to the show, guys.
Great to be back, Chuck. Thank you.
If we can just start by just telling us what branch of the service you were in, when you served. Go ahead.
Well, I was United States Air Force, served 64 to 68. I was in Southeast Asia, and I was stationed in Thailand primarily, and but made it around the country. I was up in the northeastern part of the country in Udon, and so I kind of got to know the people there, and learned a lot about the country at that time, and it's that knowledge and experience has come in very well with what we're doing here.
Yeah.
And,
I'm sure it does.
Yeah.
General.
Yeah, I served in Royal Army in my country in Laos, and 1961, CIA recruited me, sent to Special Force School for 2 years from 1961 to 1962. In 1962, they asked me who could I be ready to go to work in Laos during the Vietnam War started, and I said they keep my name after I finished school Special Force for 2 years, and they sent me to Laos, and then we went to Laos in 1963. And then when President John F. Kennedy got killed, they said, "Oh, you guys can stay in Laos. We have moved back to Thailand." We moved from Laos to set up headquarters in Thailand.
Yeah.
And that time, and 1964, I jumped over in North Vietnam by myself for a special combat mission along Ho Chi Minh Trail. And I came back I stayed over there for 3 months and 25 days before I came back from Vietnam to Laos. Okay. North Vietnam is at that time, and we set up headquarters in Thailand. In 1965, they told me move back to Laos again in Lima 39 and Savannakhet. Yeah, wow. That's why
I know we've had many conversations of
Yeah, I'm lucky. I'm still here.
It's great to have you here.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Bob.
Yes, I'm a U.S. Army veteran. I joined the U.S. Army right out of high school, and I was sent over to Europe. I did a tour of duty in Germany during the Cold War. I also enlisted in the Army National Guard when I got out of the regular Army. I have 18 years of military service between the regular Army and the Army National Guard. I got involved with this Laotian Hmong monument with General Sar. I met him when he came into the 1st Company Governor's Foot Guard. I talked him into joining our American Legion post, and he talked me into working with him on this national monument, and I'm very proud to do that, and I'm very proud to be with both of these gentlemen tonight.
Yeah. Well, it's we want to thank you, the viewers want to thank you, and certainly the crew here at the Veterans Corner and myself want to thank all three of you for your service. Thank you. Let's jump into this. There's a lot to discuss. Let's start off with, let the viewers know what the SGU National Memorial actually is.
Well, the SGU National Monument is being built to honor the special guerrilla units that operated in Laos and along the Ho Chi Minh Trail during the Vietnam War. The
secret army, as they were known, was multi-ethnic Laotian freedom fighters, and they were recruited, trained, and funded by the United States. And the United States also provided aid and support for their families. So they played a significant role in the Vietnam War. The SGU was too small to directly challenge the larger, well-trained North Vietnamese army. And so the strategy became, and the tactics were adopted of harassment and basically to disrupt their supply lines, their troop movements, and kind of hit and run.
Slow them down a little bit.
Yeah, slow them down and cause as much chaos as they possibly could. And they performed these tactics very well along the Ho Chi Minh Trail, which disrupted the supply lines, and also in Laos. Those harassments, they estimate, forced the North Vietnamese army to divert more than 60,000 soldiers to protect the Ho Chi Minh Trail in their encampments up there, and as opposed to being sent to the south to fight against the American forces that were fighting the war down there. They also did recovery operations of downed pilots, and that went down over the north, not only in Laos but also in North Vietnam, where a lot of our missions were flown. And so it helped the war effort, and they also saved many U.S. pilots and Americans, that would have otherwise been captured and thrown into North Vietnamese prisons. So that's the background kind of behind what we're looking to honor and recognize their service that they provided all those years ago, and it's never been acknowledged formally by our government, and that's a shame.
Yeah,
One thing that we want to mention here, by tying up all of those North Vietnamese troops along the Ho Chi Minh Trail, those communist troops were not allowed to get into Vietnam to fight our soldiers, American soldiers that were there. So we're very grateful to these guerrilla units that tied up so many communist troops during the Vietnam War.
Obviously, the hats go off to General Sarr and his men, because he was certainly part of that.
Yes, he was.
Thank you.
Who are the SGU Lao Hmong Vietnam veterans?
The SGU Lao Hmong, the SGU is a U.S. Special Guerrilla Unit served Vietnam War in Laos. From 1959, Colonel Bele, he went to Laos and he recruited all the Lao and Hmong for serve in SGU. He sent to training special force in Thailand, some in Okinawa, some in U.S., and after finished training, he sent back to Laos. That's why SGU Lao Hmong most we serve in U.S. Secret Army.
Okay.
We serve Vietnam War in Laos.
That's there's so much history here.
Oh yeah.
That
Oh yeah.
a lot of the viewers, along with a lot of veterans, aren't aware of.
Yes.
Yes.
You had mentioned the secret war. What was the secret war in Laos?
Secret war in Laos, almost the same from beginning, because U.S. troop can be in Laos because again Geneva Convention.
Yeah.
That's why Colonel Belair, he recruit all Lao Hmong use SGU for U.S. Secret Army.
Yeah.
And fight against the North Vietnamese. They gotta send the troop and division go to the South Vietnam. We try to block all the troop, North Vietnamese and convoy truck before they go to South Vietnam. Because if we don't block that, we mentioned maybe over 100,000 American troops down south in Vietnam gonna be got lost. Right now we have for we block in the Ho Chi Minh Trail. American troops they caught the lot in over there and 68,000.
Yep.
Yeah, because we block Ho Chi Minh Trail. We block convoy truck before they go to South Vietnam.
Yes, I mean, he obviously played a very, very important role.
Yes.
For you know our guys on the ground in Vietnam. Why did the U.S. deny any involvement in Laos? Who wants to take that one?
I'll take a shot
Go
at
ahead,
that
Bob.
one. Laos is a neutral country during that time, and by having neutrality, that meant that none of the major combatants should have been in that country, meaning the North Vietnamese communists and the Allied or American troops. However, the North Vietnamese were in there in violation of the Geneva Accords, and thus was the secret army that the United States brought in to counter these North Vietnamese troops that were in Laos illegally. Yeah. And this is why the United States did deny that they were there, because of the neutrality of that country. However, with the North Vietnamese being there and running supplies down the eastern borders of Laos, which was the Ho Chi Minh Trail, it had to be stopped. It had to be counted. So the American government did come up with this secret army,
Yeah.
which consisted of Laotian Hmong troops that were trained by the CIA and American advisors to counter the North Vietnamese. And neither side was going to complain about the other, because the country was neutral, and both were denying they were there. So basically, that's why it was denied. And I don't know if the general wants to add anything to that, or Dan. But
No, you pretty well covered it. The North Vietnamese saw it as a strategic area, because if you look at the map of North Vietnam, there's kind of a narrowing of the Vietnam,
Yeah.
and where the dividing line is between North and South, and for them to try to move supplies and troops through that would have been a challenge at the any size. So their strategy was to be able to stage in the in northern Laos, northeastern Laos, and to be able to move their supplies down the Ho Chi Minh Trail to get them into the south, so that they could wage war down there.
It was here that the special guerrilla units were able to call in airstrikes and give intel to the Allied American forces, and also help rescue downed American pilots that might have been shot down. So we were there, and so weren't the North Vietnamese.
I want to add a little bit about this. Ho Chi Minh Trail, the path Laos 80%. That's why we try to block Ho Chi Minh Trail. Yeah. Before they go to South Vietnam, up to the path MR3, Savannakhet Lima 39, they spread out 7 line Ho Chi Minh Trail before they go South Vietnam and they go Cambodia. That's why we try to block. We don't want to go down. And a lot of people, they understand about a mission in Laos during the Vietnam War. They said, why American bomb a lot in Lao country, or Lao country, damn it, why they bomb? Because we call airstrike bomb, because we know where the non-Vietnamese troops, they can, a lot in Laos, many divisions. That's why we call airstrike bomb. We don't want, actually, we don't want to bomb in Laos. We don't want to lose the bomb. You know how much cost one bomb? That's why we work all along Ho Chi Minh Trail. We know where the Vietnamese troops. That's why we call airstrike bomb. That's it. A lot of things A lot of people, they don't understand why American drop or a lot of bomb in Laos. We have reason. That's why we try to drop the bomb to the North Vietnamese troops.
You had to, because they were trying to sneak around and outflank.
Yep.
What happened to the Lao Hmong guerrillas and their families when the U.S. pulled out of Vietnam?
We have very, very hard time. A lot of people, they don't understand about it too. After all the American troops in down south Vietnam, they pull out. We cannot finish the withdrawal from South Vietnam. Actually, Vietnam War, nobody win, because Mr. Henry Kissinger go with a side peace agreement during the Lao Communist and Lao government.
Yep.
The same thing South Vietnam and North Vietnam. They gotta come and join, make a government all together. But after American troops, they try to withdraw from South Vietnam. We not finished, but they broke in peace. They signed by hand, I'm sorry, they reserved by foot.
Yeah.
And they try to go to South Vietnam, they try to arrest all the people, and they send the troop in the tank. They took over Saigon. Yeah, actually, no. Like I said, nobody win in this war. We signed peace agreement, but they not respect what they do,
Yeah.
what they done.
The takeover of Saigon, that was in '75, right?
Yeah, 75, 1970. And also all SGU in Laos, we run high in the jungle. We have many left over there. That's why we fight until 1978.
Yeah.
Yeah, the SGU, they fight in there. Left behind, and North Vietnamese and Pathet Lao, they hunting SGU like an animal.
You were a major thorn in their side.
Yeah,
during the
yeah.
war.
Actually, in a killing field in Cambodia for nothing. Nobody know a killing field in Laos. Yeah, after 1975, they arrest all the VIP general, even king and queen, all the royal family.
Yeah.
They arrest. They sent to concentration camp of the north. After that, nobody come back. Nobody left over. This we lose the country.
Yeah.
We lose everything after Vietnam War.
Well, it is. We're extremely glad that
Yeah, myself, I'm so lucky. I'm here.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. We're extremely
Yeah.
lucky to have you here, and not everyone was so lucky.
Yeah, it is.
It's let's get into the monument. I know that there's going to be a monument built in the area.
Yep.
Where's it going to be located?
Well, we've got a piece of property in Bristol. It turns out that the city had if you're familiar with the Veterans Boulevard there, that's probably one of the, well, it is the premier veterans monument and our tribute to veterans, probably in the state.
Yeah.
But the stipulation on building a monument on the boulevard is that somebody from Bristol has to have been involved in that particular incident, or whatever the whatever they're looking to recognize. And of course, they were born on the other side of the planet, so that turned out to be a little bit of a problem. But what wound up was that they had a piece of property the town owned right at the end of the boulevard on the eastern side, just on Down Street. And they said, "Would you like that?" And we said, "Yes." So that is what the location. So if you're coming east along the boulevard, just as you get down to the end there, Down Street takes off to the right, and our piece of property is right there. So they
I think it was where the old trucking company used to be.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yes,
Okay,
correct.
you're right on the nose. So that they said, "We'll give you the piece of property to because the trucking site was there. It needs some remediation and some work done on it." But they said, "Okay, you take the responsibility to get that done. Get the site prepared, put your monument up, and then once the monument is complete, will be deeded back to the city, and they will then maintain it under their Parks and Recs, along with all the rest of the veterans memorials and monuments that are in the city. So you know, it's kind of a win-win situation. The city had a piece of property they didn't know what to do with, and you know, so
It's actually been sitting vacant for a number of years.
Oh yeah, so the you know, it is now going to serve a very worthwhile purpose in my estimation.
Yeah, we have the area marked off right now, right in front where the gate is. We have the American flag and a Laotian flag there with a big sign telling this is the future home of the National War Memorial Monument for the SGU. If anybody ever wants to go by, they can see where it's going to be.
Right.
I know there's a few things we really want to cover, and as always, the show, 25 minutes doesn't.
Time goes faster than.
A lot of these shows we could probably do two-parters, and we probably should. But how's the monument going to be funded?
Well, the plan is to fund the monument by donations, and we're of course looking for some major donations from corporations and other you know, major contributors. We're looking that the final cost is going to be someplace in the close to $2 million to complete this, because not only do we want to do the monument, but we also want to make this a place of learning where a lot of the things that we've talked about this evening and all the rest of the background on the war in Laos, you can learn about it, find out the history of the war, why it evolved the way it did, and also about the Lao Hmong veterans that returned to this nation and became citizens and speak very good English and you know, have really made this their homes. Yeah. So it's not going to happen all in one shot, but we hope that in about roughly a year and a half from now that we will have the monument open. Like I say, from donations and also we've had several events here where Lao Hmong from other parts of the country have come to here and contributed quite a bit to the monument already. So that's partially where our money has come from so far. The donations, we have folders out now that you can pick up, and gives you all the information on the donations, and if they can put up on the screen
let's take a look at that first picture. Let's show the viewers.
You can send it to make your checks payable to the Bristol Veterans Council /SGU, so that we know which fund it's going in and which line item it's the funding. 100% of the monies that goes to this goes to the monument. Nobody gets paid that's working on this, and we are a 501c3 charitable organization, so it's tax deductible. And you can see the address on the screen there. Send it to the Bristol Veterans Council, SGU National Monument.
Let's show the second picture. I know
and then
we have another one. We only got like 30 seconds.
Okay, so and we also have a website that is coming up online. It's not quite complete, but you can go to www.sgunationalmonumentct, all one word, .org.
Yeah, the viewers see it right now.
It's right on the bottom of your screen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's pretty much all the time we have. I hate to end this so abruptly.
Gee whiz, we got another 3 hours of information there.
Well, you know what? You're always welcome back.
Okay, thank you for having us.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for this program.
Words can't describe our thanks, for what you've done.
Thank you, sir.
So at this time, folks, that's all the time we have. Thank you for watching. My name is Chuck Woodin, and you're watching the Veterans Corner. Hope to see you next week. Good night.
So, thank you so much for inviting us.
Thank you, Mr. Chuck.
Thank you, Chuck.
We're probably still going. But yeah, it was.
It is quite a project. And, it's something I feel very proud of.
Is that it, guy? Is that it?
They all went home.
No, that camera's on. There's still. Yeah, it went by pretty fast.
Yeah.
It went by fast.
It
You can
always
see
does.
you can see the credits and all that. And
Well, we're off to Hollywood.